Good evening, everybody. This is your boy Bill Mahari here, represent MehariNation Sports Podcast. Welcome to episode 17 of Basketball Conversations, our weekly Friday night show right here on this channel. That you guys, a major salute to the entire LDBC and the basketball community. And for those of you who guys are new, this is Basketball Conversations. This is my weekly show every Friday at 9 p.m. Central Time. This is where we discuss everything basketball, all the stuff going around at the NBA, college, historical stuff, whatever you like, whatever we like to talk about. You understand what I'm saying? What's going on? 89 TV, what's going on, my brother? He's been one of my major supporters there too, man. Much love from you, bro. So today we're gonna talk about a lot of stuff today. We're gonna discuss about the trade deadline recap. Who are my winners, losers of the trade deadline? We're also gonna talk about the Lakers. It's kind of their aftermath of Kobe's death, how this team looks right now, and things of that sort. And then another story we're going to talk about is, are the Warriors starting to fall apart within? Coming out with the reports about what was going on with D'Angelo Russell in Golden State. Plus, we're going to talk about some of the All-Star selections, and I'm gonna give you guys a little historical perspective of one team that's given me all sorts of frustration over the 27 years of life I living in this earth. You understand? For all the new people in here, just make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon for all the latest notifications when I go on live. You understand what I'm saying? Helps the channel grow, and it helps the channel, go out there to the YouTube community. You understand what I'm saying? But yeah, today today we'll just go as long as we can, depending on how we go on with this. But this week we had the trade deadline. We had a lot of different trades that went down yesterday within this week. I should say though too. So we're going to discuss about a lot of the trades that basically I liked a lot, and the trades that I kind of just shake my head a lot. Now, the major winners out of the trade deadline are three teams that I saw. Number one, the Los Angeles Clippers. Number two, the Atlanta Hawks. And at number three, the Miami Heat. Now, what the Heat were able to do was massive. What they did, they traded Justin Winslow to the Memphis Grizzlies for Andre Iguodala. Now, you would assume that Andre Iguodala would probably just play out of his rest of his contract and come back to the Warriors as a free agent. Nope, he did not do that. What he did was he signed a 2-year extension to stay with the Heat, and he's getting at least about 17 to 18 million. You understand? And this is really, if you're a Heat fan, you should be very, very happy, but also at the same time surprised about it too, because Iguodala was one of the great wing players in the game, one of the best defensive specialists in the game. But for him to sign a 2-year extension deal, get a lot of money out of it, is a really telling sign about how he's really buying into the Miami Heat, but also on what's been going on with the Golden State Warriors. But we're going to get into that a little bit later on. But if you're a Miami Heat fan, you should be rejoicing right now. You picked up a huge acquisition for a guy that can not just with the great experience, but also at the same time, you also got a guy that can basically defend three different positions. You understand what I'm saying? And you need a lot of good defenders and a lot of versatile wingmen, especially in the Eastern Conference. Because right now the Heat are in second place, are basically battling for fourth place in the West. In the East. But when you look at the Heat right now, they got almost everything you need. They got defenders, shooters, and wingmen. All right. You got to give major credit for Pat Riley for basically turning the entire ship after the Big Three era ended. You understand what I'm saying? This guy is basically a genius when it comes to making trades, and came from that Jerry West cloth. You understand? And you got to give credit where credit's due. Even though Pat Riley has made his mistakes in the past, there's no denying that. But also, the thing is, the Knicks, the Heat right now are heading in the right direction, and they're making themselves attractive for free agents to come over. So we'll see how this turns out. We got a little bit more people in here now. Tusky Roll says, in 2 years, nobody messes with the Knicks. Watch. Forget about it, bro. Forget about it. No way. Ain't happening. Ain't happening whatsoever. You, if you're thinking that you guys are gonna try to get Giannis, it ain't gonna happen. But I'm gonna get to Giannis in a little bit. Don't worry. Okay. Now, the LA Clippers are another major winner of the trade deadline. And if you're a Los Angeles Lakers fan right now, be very, very worried. Okay. Think about this for a moment. You traded away Mo Harkless, basically a guy that had not received any playing time, flat out scrub in a 3-team trade deal with the Washington Wizards. And what do you get? You get Marcus Morris and you get Isaiah Thomas, two guys that can come off your bench and contribute. Man, you better, man. I'm telling you guys something right now. I'm gonna tell y'all something right now. And Tolsky Rose said was basically laughing about my Knicks, about your Knicks, bruh. The Knicks are gonna suck as long as James Dolan still is your owner. I keep saying this every single time. I've been telling y'all for a long time. As long as James Dolan remains your owner of the New York Knicks, y'all ain't going nowhere. Forget about it. All right. Now let me get back into this smoke. Let me get back into this work. Okay. Think about this for a moment. The Clippers right now are just coasting this year, this entire season. They're just coasting around, getting some regular season victories because they know when they get their whole double superstar combo ready to go for the playoffs. I'm just telling you right now, the Clippers right now, I'm telling you, they're gonna be the team. They're gonna be the team to beat in the Western Conference. Don't tell me about the Lakers. Lakers right now ain't looking too good, and they did not pull off any moves to try to improve the roster. Think about this for a moment. The Clippers traded some leftover baggage, and you got two big marquee guys that can come off your bench. Okay, now let's keep this in mind. Both Isaiah and Marcus Morris are probably not going to get the same kind of looks that they normally would get. But when you have playing for a team that you're going to get consistent minutes off your bench, and you're willing, and your team's allowing you to go in there, shoot the ball, and basically contribute out there, it really builds in a lot of confidence for your basketball team. So you got to give credit where credit is due to the Clippers management of how they were able to maneuver around and make these kind of trades and figure out what weaknesses can they fill up. So if you're the Lakers right now, be very, very worried. And come playoff time, I've said this before when I first created the show, and I keep saying this over and over again. Okay, the Lakers bench is going to be their demise. All right, even if you bring in J.R. Smith or Darren Collison, it's not going to do enough. You need physical guys. You need guys that can bang with Montrezl Harrell, with Kawhi Leonard, and Paul George, and Marcus Morris, because those guys, they're going to impose their physicality and they're going to impose their will on the Lakers. And right now, by the way the Lakers have been playing against the Clippers in the regular season, the Clippers know they can beat them anytime they want. They know this. So that is what it is. So right now, if you're a Clippers fan, you got to feel real good about yourself because you basically got two contributors off your bench that could give you big minutes, and you only had to, and you traded basically for nothing. All right. And I will say this though. What's this guy's name in that trade? Hold on one second. Let me restart something real quick. 1 second. 1 second. That one guy that was involved in the trade. Okay. I think it was Manners. Yep, right there. All right. So yeah, the bottom line is this: they only traded Mo Harkless, and to be honest with you, man, the Clippers won the trade. They won the trade deadline, and now, boy, if you think the Clippers are just coasting right now, wait till they get all their people in playoff time. I'm telling you, y'all gonna be scared of what's gonna happen. Trust me when I tell you. You understand? 89 TV says these teams are really preparing for Giannis. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But if the Bucks do get to the finals, and that's a big if, all right, he's gonna have to confront the uh, the defensive stopper Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. He's not gonna hide from one of those two guys. They're two of the best two-way players in the NBA. All right, like I said in my previous video, I said there's only 5 players in the NBA that play legitimate defense, and 2 of them right now are on one team. So you can't necessarily hide. There's no way you can hide from that. You understand what I'm saying? Now, Zero Infinite says, "Hey, MehariNation Sports Podcast, what's up, everybody? Nothing much, man. We're just shooting the stuff, though, man, on a Friday. You know what I mean? Shooting the basketball stuff on a Friday, talking about the trade deadline and all the good trades and stuff like that. Understand? Now, another good trade that happened during the trade deadline is the Atlanta Hawks also pulled off a major trade that's going to really help them down the line. So, they basically acquired Clint Capella in a 3-team trade deal. You understand what I'm saying? And basically, Timberwolves traded Kobe Covington to the Rockets too in that same 3-team trade deal. Now, I will tell you this though, if you're an Atlanta Hawks fan, if you're an Atlanta Hawks fan, you should be very, very pleased about getting Clint Capella because not only does Clint Capella can basically receive lob passes, he can block shots, he rebounds, and he fills in the paint. He takes the pressure off of Collins. And if you're basically Trae Young right now, you should be very, very happy that trade happened. Now you don't have to just key in on Trae Young as much anymore. The thing is, what you're the Hawks right now. Now you can design pick and roll plays. You can design lob plays to get some buckets on the inside. You understand what I'm saying? It's basically created another dimension for Trae Young's game. And just, considering the fact that Trae Young can love to score the ball and can distribute somewhat, this is really going to be very helpful in this playmaking ability. We already know that Trae Young is an excellent point guard in terms of scoring and playmaking. But now that he's surrounded with 2 big guys that can basically catch lob passes and get some scoring on the inside, it's really going to help the Atlanta Hawks open up the game a little bit more. You understand? And it's really going to be a very central figure for what the Hawks going to do. And 89 TV says, I like that Capella trade 100. I'm a Hawks fan. We need a center for a while. I definitely agree. And I'm going to tell you, Clint Capella is a perfect fit for you. And I tell you this, Stay Ready hasn't been happy with the Rockets in the last few days. If y'all have been hearing me on 503's live streams, I kind of just troll around with Stay Ready about his Rockets, though, because he loves his Rockets so much. But right now, you have no center. You understand? And I also read an article from NBC Sports talking about the fact that the GM Darren Moore is basically happy about the way this team is constructed. Like, really? Really, dude? You have no big man. You have no power forward in there other than PJ Tucker, who's an undersized power forward. You're basically playing small ball. You understand? And the fact of the matter is, though, bro, there ain't no way that you're gonna win any games in the West with a small lineup. I'm sorry, that ain't happening. Tolsky Rose said, "Did you hear about the Oladipo tape for DeRozan?" No, I have not. No, I haven't. I haven't heard about it, but I'm sure it was probably just another a rumor spreading around about who they're gonna trade. You know what though? I'll say this though too. The San Antonio Spurs has really just got to figure out a way to really rebuild this team somewhat way or another. And I don't know. And listen, I like DeMar DeRozan. I really like him as a player, and he's a really efficient scorer. But I just don't think he really fits well to what the Spurs are looking for. Just my opinion at least. They really need to start break. They just need to gut that team and start over. And I don't know if Greg Popovich does not want to go through a rebuilding process, considering that he's at an advanced stage right now where he's not up for that. So, it is what it is. A9 TV says PJ Tucker is related to Jared Dudley. Yeah, but let me tell you this though too. PJ Tucker is way better than Jerry fucking Scrub Dudley. I mean, come on, bro. Like, why is it that we look at Jared Dudley, why he's still on a roster? and you could have had Carmelo Anthony right now. Can you imagine if having Carmelo Anthony off your bench for the Lakers right now? Oh man, the Lakers would be in a very good position to where they're at right now. Now think about this for a moment. Now we're gonna get into the losers of the trade deadline. You understand what I'm saying? It's because the Lakers are the real losers of the trade deadline. I'm gonna tell y'all why. You understand? The problem with the Lakers is that they made no significant moves to try to improve the roster. And what I read from an article from NBCSports.com was that Laker management was too reluctant to make any trades because, according to a source, they said there was not a lot of appetite for changing things. There wasn't a lot of appetizing for telling players they're going to Minnesota, Orlando, somewhere else, Charlotte, or whatever. If there's an offer you can't say no to, of course, you're going to take it. But the idea of breaking things out after what happened to Kobe, it wasn't something anyone seemed to wanted to do. Now, that quote right there is alarming to me if you really think about it. He said, chill, man, Dudley, my cousin. Okay, we'll calm it down a little bit for you, Mr. Rolls. We'll calm it down for you, okay? Now, back to what I was saying. When I heard that quote, it really concerned me because listen, because it reflects about a quote that LeBron James said, I think a few months back. I should say probably in January, I think, where he said we don't need to make any other trades. Well, why is it that you guys were throwing around trade offers for Kyle Kuzma? You understand? That to me does not make any sense. All right. Listen, the Clippers right now made two big moves to really shore up the bench. Right now, they got scoring, they got a bench, they got physicalness in the paint, plus they got defense. All four things that the Lakers somewhat do not have. Although the Lakers have the size, they got the skills, but they don't have the physicality and the mental toughness. All right. Now, I thought about what the Lakers need to do to try to offset the moves that the Clippers made. Okay. Now, hear me out on this. Listen to me very, very closely. Okay. The three guys that I would love to see the Lakers go after, and it's not J.R. Smith because J.R. Smith will add nothing to this. Now, if J.R. Smith replaces Jared Dudley on the roster, then you know what? No problem with me. At least J.R. Smith is a better upgrade than Jared Dudley. No offense, Mr. Rolls. But the three guys I would love to see the Lakers get are three. Number one, Kenneth Faried. The reason why is that Kenneth Faried is a physical player at 6'7", at 6'8", that can basically match up with Montrezl Harrell. Because Kenneth Faried is one type of player that loves to play physical ball, and he will get after you at both ends of the floor. Okay? And you're going to need that kind of tenacity and that kind of physicalness coming off of your bench to offset Montrezl Harrell. All right? Now, that's the first option. Second player that I would want to see the Lakers go after, Lance Stevenson. Okay? Now, when you look at Lance Stevenson, what he did during last season, he won a lot of games for them basically as one of their go-to scorers. Okay? Now, Lance Stevenson, sure, he could be a bit erratic sometimes, but the thing is, he brings in a mental edge that you're going to need. All right? He's the type of player that's basically an irritant. Kind of like how Dennis Rodman was back in his heyday. Always grabbing on to you, always doing the blow, always doing something, always touching up on you, touching your butt and all that to really aggravate you and agitate you. Well, with Lance Stevenson, he gets into your face. He tries to crowd your space. He blows it in your ear. All right. All that to LeBron James when he was with the Indiana Pacers. All these things are really just essential to basically bring in that different type of element off of your bench to get the opponent off of their game and focusing on them rather than figuring out how to score points. You understand? I think that's what you probably will need more than anything else. Now, number three, and this is another move that could offset the Isaiah Thomas signing. Okay, forget Jamal Crawford. Jamal Crawford has not been signed by any team this year, and last season he dropped 51 points when he was with the Phoenix Suns. All right, one of the oldest players in the NBA dropped 51 points last season. Okay, you need a guy that's going to come off of your bench and essentially get you some quick instant scoring. Because what I'm seeing for the Lakers right now is, listen, Kyle Kuzma has his minutes has been messed around thanks to Frank Vogel. Okay, and the other thing that's concerning about me is that Rajon Rondo is out there shooting jump shots. Why is that? Rajon Rondo cannot shoot a jump shot to save his life. Why are you letting Rajon Rondo shoot jump shots rather than having him penetrate through your defense and break your defense down to create plays for other players? It literally makes no sense to me. So at the end of the day, though, guys, those three acquisitions to me should be a major get for the Los Angeles Lakers to offset the moves that the Clippers made. Because of the way that the bench looks right now, it does not look good. Because even though they're very talented, they're basically soft mentally, which means if you could play physical ball with them, make this game ugly, the Lakers will crack. They'll crack because the thing is, they don't like to play that physical ball there. And when I watched the game against the Rockets a couple of days ago, I was very, very disappointed of how they played. Listen, the Rockets do not have a center. So why is it that you're not throwing the ball inside of the post to really, utilize your size advantage? You're basically matching them small against small, and the Rockets basically outgunned you late in that game. It makes no sense. So at the end of the day, to me, those are the three moves that I would make if I'm a Lakers executive. And plus, Frank Vogel needs to do a better job with his rotations. His rotations and managing in the minutes is absolutely pathetic. And if he don't find a way to make this work within the second half of the season, I'm telling you right now, the city of Los Angeles will riot. Laker Nation will not put up with this. Especially what happened to Kobe Bryant 2 weeks ago. Trust me, these are dire times right now. And it's really, really getting more difficult for me. Listen, I've never was a LeBron James fan in the first place, but it really gets difficult for me to understand, like, why you don't attack the paint at every opportunity. Because you're a well-built monster, you're 6'9", nobody can touch you. So why you don't go into the paint and create havoc on the opposing defense? Literally does not make sense to me. But that's just how I kind of see it, though. Now, my second loser of the trade deadline is also the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Timberwolves traded away Andrew Wiggins for basically D'Angelo Russell for D'Angelo Russell, the Golden State Warriors. Okay. Now, the reason why I say they're the losers is because, listen, you could have made this signing during the offseason, but you didn't do that. But now you decide to trade Andrew Wiggins and D'Angelo Russell to make that happen. I mean, bro, come on. Really? And this is not the first time that the Timberwolves had made dumb trades and draft picks in the past. Y'all know this. Remember, this was the same team that in 2009 had two opportunities to draft Steph Curry, and they chose Johnny Flynn and Ricky Rubio. Are you kidding me? Plus, 1996, the Timberwolves drafted Ray Allen with the 5th overall pick, and then traded the pick to the Milwaukee Bucks for their own draft pick of Stephon Marbury, and only played 2 seasons. You understand? The Timberwolves right now, I don't know what their direction is going. But if you're the Golden State Warriors right now, this is going to be one of the main indications that you guys are not going to get Giannis during the offseason. Okay? That move was made specifically to fill up the small forward position for the Golden State Warriors. You understand? Now, we'll see how this trade works. I'm not gonna say that this trade is entirely horrible, but if you're a Timberwolves fan right now, I mean, this is a weird roster. And plus, you've lost 13 straight games right now. Your team looks pathetic. And Cat is basically, just not trying at this moment because he knows how much the team generally sucks. So how is it that right now, boy, I'm telling you, I try my best. I try so hard to support the Timberwolves, and they always find ways to mess things up. It just does not make any sense to me. I just don't get it. I can't understand it. we'll wait and see what happens. A9 TV says Minnesota's gonna have to wait to the off season. Well, we'll see. They got to make something happen in the off season because listen, I stood by this team during the KG era. Watched them make the playoffs from 97 to 2004 and getting bounced out of the first round until he made the Western Conference Finals in 2004. And then after that, more garbage out of it. It really, really gets frustrating. But I'll tell you, but I will say this though too. If Cat don't start stepping up his play, his value is going to be even more diminished. I mean, he's probably listen. I found out that he's probably the second worst defender in the NBA right now. It's really just it's really really sad times. But I think having D'Angelo Russell could work with Cat. Well, we'll just see how this works out. But yeah, that's pretty much the roundtable of all my recap about these trade deadlines. I mean, there were a lot of possible rumors going around. You understand? But these trades that really took place, the Clippers, the Hawks, and the Heat, they got to give a huge standing ovation for what they pulled off. And now they're putting themselves in the position to contend possibly for the playoffs. Not for the Hawks, though, because they're going to still need more pieces around. But at least they're going in the right direction. For the Heat and the Clippers, they're thinking themselves championship aspiration. And with these moves they made, it's going to be really, really interesting how things will finally shape up in the second half of the season. You understand what I'm saying? So now with all that out the way, now we're going to get into my thoughts about the Los Angeles Lakers since Kobe Bryant's death. Now, oh yeah, and also for a little the teaser there too, guys. We're gonna have a special live stream at 3 p.m. Central Time discussing the double standard that the media's been picking apart about Kobe Bryant. So stay tuned for that, though, guys. 3 p.m. Central Time tomorrow afternoon. Okay, right here on this channel. You understand? Make sure to hit the like button, though, too, guys. Appreciate it. Now, let's get into what's been going on with the Los Angeles Lakers. This has been 2 weeks since Kobe Bryant died at that horrific helicopter crash. Now, the city of Los Angeles right now has been basically in mourning, in the aftermath. Not many people cannot seem to come to grips about what happened, and especially for the Lakers too. When they finally first played against the Portland Trail Blazers, I said to myself, I don't know if this team is mentally ready to get back into playing basketball right now because they just lost one of their great heroes and the face of the franchise that played 20 seasons with only one team. And I felt that, when the Lakers finally retook the floor again against the Blazers, they tried to play through it, but you could tell that their minds and their hearts were not into it at that time. And Damian Lillard played inspired basketball with it when he scored 48. But when I talk about that quote about the unwillingness to make trades, I mean, you have to really think about this. The Lakers right now could have chose to make some moves to improve the bench. I mean, think about it. The Lakers could have traded scrub Alex Caruso to the Detroit Pistons for a first-round pick and Derrick Rose. Trust me, if Derrick Rose is on the scene right now, he was offset Mo Williams. All right? I don't care what Derrick Rose says when he talks about, I don't want to be traded. I like playing here in Detroit. Bro, there's no loyalty in basketball. Just ask Andre Drummond. All right? There ain't no loyalty in sports. If they want to trade you, they can trade you at any time. But so my point is that the Lakers right now, they really need to figure out a way to try to mitigate, this whole journey that they're going through right now. This is really going to be a telling sign of which team is going to go in which direction for both the Clippers and the Lakers. The thing is this. I think right now for the Lakers, what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to really going to have to start playing outside of their element. Because, listen, if I were to coach the Lakers right now, Kuzma would be starting on my lineup. All right, because you need that scoring in your lineup. All right, and also Can you please let Rondo handle the basketball and make him allow him to be the old penetrator that he was in Boston? All right. You will not win many games. You're not going to win many games if you don't let Rondo do what he does best. Because most of the games I've seen so far, Rondo's been mostly taking 3-point shots. LeBron James is taking way too many threes. I don't understand why. So, and even with the return of DeMarcus Cousins, okay, I don't know if Cousins would be the solution to most of their problems. Sure, he would add a different dimension of scoring and can probably play the four with Anthony Davis. But remember, Anthony Davis does not want to play at the center position. I don't know why, but listen, you're going to miss a lot of games due to injury, so why not play the center position? Why not? All right? Because if we're playing at the center position, you would let LeBron play the four, and you would let Rondo handle the point guard responsibility and let LeBron work off of the ball. All right? Hey, Denise Wars, how are you doing, sister? Good to see you. A9 TV says the Lakers could have got Drummond too. Yeah, they could have had two. You know what I would have done if I were Rob Pelinka? I would have traded Dwight Howard. I would have traded Dwight Howard, Alex Caruso, and basically a future first round pick to the Detroit Pistons, and I would want Andre Drummond and Derrick Rose and your second round pick. That would have been a really good trade to have, because if that will offset the physicalness that Montrezl Harrell will bring. And also the presence of Zubac too. All right, let's not forget about that. Those two players could offset what the Clippers can throw at them right now, because the way that the original roster is going to be, I don't understand I don't understand what they're thinking in at this point. A9 TV says it's stupid not to give Rondo the ball. Him and CBC are still going strong. Absolutely, there's no question about it. And the thing is, don't both CP3 and Rondo need the basketball to basically run the point guard position. I never saw LeBron James as a point guard, even this year, even despite the fact that he's been leading the league in assists. Okay, listen, LeBron needs to learn to work off of the ball and be in attack mode most times. Sure, he's not the same kind of player that he was when he was in the early years in Cleveland and when he was in Miami, when he was just an unstoppable force. All right. But he's going to have to find a way to go through that fountain of youth and be the old LeBron James. All right. I don't like to see LeBron shoot jumpers all day long, always trying to pass the ball at every given time and not look to attack. Listen, you're supposed to be the best player in the world. Why are you not playing like it? All right. And his decision making late in games also drive me insane. Why is it that you're trying to play into trying to get a foul instead of attacking the paint and try to seek the fouls? All right. This and that also another thing. Anthony Davis right now is really getting on my nerves by the way he acts and the way he flops a lot of times, like somebody just shot him. Bro, listen, you're gonna miss a lot of time with your injuries. So quit this acting and just be a man among boys in the paint. You understand? It just drives me crazy of how they always act. And also, the Lakers are trying to work out J.R. Smith. J.R. Smith, the same guy that smoked weed in the NBA Finals and forgot that he was supposed to call a timeout in the final possession. Think about that for a moment. J.R. Smith on your team, really? Get out of here with that, bro. But if they get rid of Jared Dudley in the process and replace it with J.R. Smith, then I would have no problem with it. But if you just bring in J.R. Smith and leaving Jared Dudley in there, please, bro, it's gonna be a full disaster waiting to come on your head. You understand? And I don't want to see that. You got that? So, like I said, the Lakers right now, they're basically gonna have to go through the second half of the season with this whole Kobe thing surrounding their heads. And also another major announcement though too. The LA officials finally decided to um, announce the funeral services for Kobe Bryant on February the 24th, which is basically in between home games between the Boston Celtics and the New Orleans Pelicans later on that week. And I think it's at probably 10 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. LA time. All right, let me check real quick just to make sure. I mean, there we go. So I think it's probably at 10 a.m. LA, 10 a.m. LA time, but I could be wrong. If somebody knows the exact time, just go ahead and post it in the chat. But yeah, listen, the Lakers and right now are still, reeling from the loss of Kobe Bryant. So it can play a role of what's going on, but it should not be used as an excuse if the Lakers self-destruct in the playoffs. No, if the Lakers self-destruct in the playoffs is because they did not improve on the bench. They did not improve on getting physical players to combat against the skilled finesse and also combined power players of the Los Angeles Clippers. Okay, so that's what they need to do at this point. They need to get Kenneth Fareed, Lance Stevenson, and Jamal Crawford. They need to get those kind of players to really match up what the Clippers brought to the table. That's the only way I kind of see right now at this point of how they can really improve the bench. Because the way the bench looks right now, they're garbage. They're just straight garbage. Now, with that out the way, now I wanted to get into the discussion about the Golden State Warriors right now. Now, as we already told you earlier, um, the Warriors traded away D'Angelo Russell to the Timberwolves for Andrew Wiggins. Now, I will say this about Andrew Wiggins. I think that Andrew Wiggins now is going to be playing in a system where you can't make any mental flaws. You understand? The Warriors are a championship level organization, and what I've seen in Andrew Wiggins in my time in Minnesota is that sometimes his motor comes and goes. Sometimes he is engaged. He can basically be an effective player, and sometimes he's not engaged. But with the Golden State Warriors, he can't afford to do that because now you got Steph Curry coming back, you got Klay Thompson coming back, and then you are being led by the emotional player Draymond Green. All right, who's basically the anchor of the defense. Listen, I think that the acquisition also is an indicator that the Warriors are most likely not going to get Giannis in free agency because the truth is, yeah, the truth is Andrew Wiggins is basically going to make $95 million for the next 3 years because he signed a $147 million deal a couple of seasons ago. So Warriors right now they're just basically playing the numbers at this point. But what really is just driving me, absolutely insane is the way that is being reported about how things didn't work out in Golden State for Russell. Because I read an article from the Athletic, and it kind of goes into about why things didn't work out in Golden State. Talking about they cashed him early in, and they went through to get him, and basically that the Warriors did not picture D'Angelo Russell in their long-term future plans. You know what I mean? And things of that sort. I'm kind of just paraphrasing though. And the thing is though, bro, like really, did you really have to really bring out that kind of stuff to the media? Listen, this is what kind of why right now that the Golden State Warriors are not. They're slowly becoming an untractable team for free agents to come. Now, remember, Andre Iguodala was finals MVP in 2015. Okay, he could have not signed that extension and could have waited till the offseason when he became a free agent to return to the Warriors. But he changed his mind. He signed the extension, and now he's staying with the Heat for a little bit more. My issue is going to be is that right now the Golden State Warriors at this point right now they they do a great job of basically sabotaging a lot of people that came through the Warriors organization. Like what they did to Mark Jackson, and now what they're doing to D'Angelo Russell. Like you realize right now that those are the kind of shady politics that you're doing in the organization, as now the players are starting to notice that, and there's like, why do I want to play there? Because we got to keep this in mind. When KD signed with the Warriors, I believe that the window of championship opportunity was closing in if they didn't sign KD. But when KD came in to the Golden State Warriors, he was the alpha dog for the Golden State Warriors. But unfortunately, Steph Curry received most of the credit. Most of the credit should have gone to Kevin Durant. You understand? He was the X factor for the remaining 2 championships and basically kicked off a dynasty. All right. But when Durant didn't get the same respect that Curry got, and when Draymond Green got into his face and said, "No, we don't need you. We won without you," bro. It's that kind of stuff that just really rubs the organization the wrong way. And right now, they're paying the consequences for that. All right. So the one thing that I will say about with Andrew Wiggins is that Wiggins is going to have to learn how to play off of the ball, which is something he wasn't really good at when he was in Minnesota. He's going to have to learn that, to improve his defense, improve his intensity on the court. All right. Because listen, when you're playing for a championship level organization like the Warriors, you're not going to get away with that a lot of times. So I think at this point right now, the way I look at it is this. Andrew Wiggins is going to be there for a little bit more, for a little while. So the only way that I can see the trade improvement is if they could really get to work about what Andrew Wiggins' weaknesses are and make them and improve on that. Because I can tell you this all right now, the Minnesota did a huge disservice to Andrew Wiggins, and that's being honest here. A9 TV says this gives more reason that Mark Jackson should be still coaching in the NBA. I definitely agree. I don't listen. I heard Ticket TV said that Mark Jackson could be a good coach for the New York Knicks. No, do not go to the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks are basically career suicide. I think that Mark Jackson could be a great fit for the Chicago Bulls right now because, listen, Jim Boylen, and I'm going to talk about the Chicago Bulls at the end of the show, but the Chicago Bulls right now, they could really use a guy like a Mark Jackson to really energize the team, energize the intensity of the team, and basically get them to play the kind of the defense is going to require to get the team to win. You understand? I think that Mark Jackson would be a perfect fit for Chicago. Maybe Minnesota, but I don't know about Minnesota. But I don't know about that. But any of those 2 teams would be a perfect fit. Hey, Andre, what's going on, though, bro? How you doing, though, man? He says, salute, Mehari. Keep putting it out the great content, fam. Will do. No other problem whatsoever. Appreciate all the love and support. Hey, yo, make sure to smash the like button, too, guys, while you're at it. Now, these are, see, what people need to also understand about the whole Giannis situation is that Giannis and Masai Ujiri have a great relationship with another for one specific reason, okay? Because Masai Ujiri helped relocate Giannis' family from Greece to the United States, okay? Wherever Masai Ujiri decides to go next season is where Giannis will go. Now, if Masai Ujiri wants Giannis to go to Toronto, trust me, Giannis will go to Toronto with Masai Ujiri. Now, it depends about how the Bucks do. If the Bucks get to the NBA Finals and fall short in a tough 6 or 7 game series, then you know what? That could be a possibility that he might resign with the Bucks. If Giannis wins the championship, then hey, he's got to resign back with the Bucks. But if they lose in the conference finals or they get swept out of the NBA Finals, then you know what? That's going to give Giannis the absolute right to leave Milwaukee and probably go somewhere else. Not the Warriors, maybe somewhere else. Maybe the Knicks, the Raptors, who knows? But the bottom line is this. Masai Ujiri and Giannis Antetokounmpo have a great relationship with each other. And if Masai Ujiri says, hey, Giannis, why don't you come over to Toronto? Why don't you come over to New York? Or whatever. And trust me, there's no doubt in my mind that Giannis will go if the Bucks don't win the championship. Now, my concern about the Bucks is that they don't have another scorer other than Chris Middleton that could take pressure off of Giannis. All right. Now, this is going to be where the brass loss of Malcolm Brogdon could come into play. Now, if the Bucks right now keep it together, I think they could probably get to 60 plus wins. But my issue is going to be when they go against tough-minded defensive teams. How will the role players step up to the plate and help out Giannis? Because when Giannis gets into the paint, there's going to be 2 or 3 or 4 guys. patrolling the paint. So we'll see how the Bucks can make that adjustment and really, utilize their strength, and that is their 3-point shooting and their ability to penetrate and kick. That's the way I kind of see things. All right. Now, we're near down to the home stretch here, guys. We're basically 45 minutes in. We're almost to the home stretch, guys. So this time, I'm going to use a little bit of a segment this week. I'm going to announce my players of the week. Now, there's going to be 2 players, and sometimes it can be 1 or 2 on my show. Okay? My 2 players of the week are, drum rolls, please, Damian Lillard of the Portland Trailblazers and Zion Williamson of the New Orleans Pelicans. Now, let me start with Zion Williamson, okay? I have been telling everybody that when Zion gets healthy and gets his knees right, he's going to be a once-in-a-lifetime generational talent. So far, since his return, since his debut in the NBA, he has not disappointed. He's been basically averaging like close to at least about 22 points per game. All right. His ability to really get off the ground and basically finish in traffic. I mean, that's just basically unbelievable. You understand me? Right now, basically in the games he's played, he's averaging about 19.8 points per game and 7.5 rebounds per game. That is really, really strong. Now, when he gets healthy and plays a full 82 game schedule, I expect those production to go up. You understand? I think right now the New Orleans Pelicans at this point right now, they know they're going to build their talent around Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson. If they can improve their point guard play and improve the bench, I mean, I'm telling you, man, be aware of the New Orleans Pelicans, though, bro. But also, major salute to also the Damian Lillard of the Portland Trailblazers. He's now returning back into the All-Star game again. And I'll tell you this, though, too. Damian Lillard has been a scoring machine. I mean, what was it? On the last Saturday, he dropped 51 points against the Jazz. Okay. This guy has been averaging about 29.6 points per game. And on the fourth against the Nuggets, he also dropped 21 points. And then against the Spurs, he dropped 26. But there was it was basically a 4 or 5 game stretch where he was basically dropping 40 and 50-point games in his sleep. All right. This guy is proving time and time again he's still one of the best scoring point guards in the game. All right. And when the Blazers can get their team together all healthy and ready to go, I'm telling you, the Portland Trail Blazers are going to make things very, very interesting in the Western Conference standings. So keep an eye on the Portland Trail Blazers as we get down to the homestead. Right now, they're in the 9th spot in the Western Conference. All right. They're basically closing in on the Memphis Grizzlies right now. All right. They're only about 2.5 games back. If they can put together a winning streak, and basically after the All-Star break, they could probably take over probably the 8th final playoff spot in the West. All right. So we'll see what happens. You understand what I'm saying? And NEI TV asks, is Carmelo Anthony in the NBA All-Star game? I think he is, but let me check real quick. Because I gotta make sure real quick. Just gotta make sure. All right. 2020 All-Star selections there. No. Unfortunately, no. Carmelo Anthony is not on the All-Star team, which is an absolute load of crap. I mean, why is it that LeBron that these guys, Nikola Jokic, I could get, Gobert, maybe, Donovan Mitchell, that's a far stretch for me. I would have replaced him with Carmelo Anthony, but the starting lineup, I don't have. But the starters, I don't have a problem with. I do have a problem with LeBron James picking Kawhi Leonard to play on the same team. Like, bro, come on. Why you got to pick Kawhi Leonard, man? You know you're going to see that guy in the playoffs. So why team up with the guy that you know that's going to be your enemy come playoff time? I don't understand it. All right. Now, it's disappointing that Melo didn't make it to the All-Star game. But you know what? He's been putting in a very fine season since his return to the NBA. And, you know, you don't need this. You don't need an all-star appearance to try to validate his status. This guy's going to the Hall of Fame no matter what. But I think at this point right now, I think that Carmelo Anthony's legacy is already been set. So He doesn't need the All-Star appearance to really validate his status. We all know this, but it would have been nice to see him in another All-Star game because he truly does deserve it. All right. So now we're almost there. We're almost there to the final stretch. Now, I'm going to vent out my frustration about the Chicago Bulls. All right. Now, as you guys know, I'm a major Chicago Bulls fan. All right. I've been that way since I was a kid. I was basically grew up during the second 3P team with Jordan, Pippen, Rodman, Harper, Steve Kerr, Longley, Kukoc, those guys. All right. I will say, us Chicago Bulls fans were very, very spoiled, during that whole time. Seeing those guys dominate the NBA with their 6 championships in 8 seasons. And some people would criticize us and say, "Oh, you guys got 6 championships. I mean, why do you need it? Why are you so frustrated about it?" Listen, man. If it wasn't for the draft pick of Jordan, all right, we would not been there in that same position. Okay, and listen, Jerry Reinsdorf has been owned the team for a long time, and he has done absolutely nothing to improve the team. You don't have Jerry Krause anymore because he's dead. Okay, you've had Gar Forman and John Paxson since 2004, and sure, they've had some good teams that just did not work out. But listen, those guys have done nothing this year to really help my Chicago Bulls out. Listen, Jim Boylan should not be this coach of this team. He don't know how to coach young players. All right. You have Kobe White. You have Laurie Markkinen. You have Zach LaVine right now. That's been basically they've been kind of that he's been balling this year. But right now, the Bulls right now, it's been 27 years since we won our last championship when Michael Jordan broke Byron Russell's ankles to win our 6th and final championship. The Bulls went through 6 straight seasons of losing before returning to the playoffs back in 2006. 89 TV says, remember the 2001 Chicago Bulls? Don't remind me, okay? Marcus Fizer, Michael Ruffin, those scrubs, man. Ugh, don't remind me. That gives me bad memories. Listen, get a different executive or executives that can basically ride the ship and get you the talent that you need to help build the team. All right. This is really, really frustrating to me how listen, Jerry Reinsdorf, just sell the team, man. Just sell the team and save us the misery. All right. I am just getting so frustrated of how Jerry Reinsdorf has had owned the team, but never ever been able to take the reins of any of his teams. All right, listen, Jerry Krause was a guy making the moves for the Chicago Bulls, but also has been vilified for the breakup of the Bulls. All right, but I really don't understand why Jerry Reinsdorf doesn't get the same amount of heat and criticism too for that Bulls breakup. This guy, this Jerry Reinsdorf just needs to sell the team. Sell the team, give it to an owner that can basically has a strong vision to right the ship and get the Bulls somewhere in a different direction. All right. 89 TV says we got it worse than the ATL. We haven't won a championship since Pistol P 63 years ago. Oh yeah, I definitely agree. Definitely agree with that. In fact, to be honest with you, I think that both the New York Knicks and the Atlanta Hawks and the Chicago Bulls have really gotten it rough, considering the fact what we were able to achieve. Listen, y'all had Dominique Wilkins and Kevin Willis on your teams though, but unfortunately you ran into Bird and the Celtics and the Bad Boy Pistons along the way. You also had some good teams with Steve Smith, Mookie Blaylock, and Dikembe Mutombo, but they ran into the gauntlet of Michael and Scotty and Dennis Rodman. All right. Then also the Hawks also had Joe Smith, I should say not Joe Smith, Joe Johnson and Josh Smith on your teams, but always getting swept out of the playoffs almost in the second round almost every other year. I mean, it's just ridiculous. The thing is this. Jerry Reinsdorf, just sell the team. Just sell the team and save us from the misery that we've been going through for the last 27 years. The fact that Tom Thibodeau ran Derrick Rose into the ground and nearly ending his superstar potential You understand? And then also, listen, Luol Deng used to be one of the best forwards in the game. All right. And then what did Tom Thibodeau do? He ran him to the ground by overplaying him so many minutes. The same with Joakim Noah because he was basically an MVP candidate at one point in his career. But what did Tom Thibodeau do? He ran those players to the ground. All right, because he didn't trust the bench. And look what happened. Those guys weren't the same players after that. All right, because Luol Deng went into early retirement. You understand? 89 Sports Talk says, as long as the JC don't own the Bulls, I'm good. Hell, hey, hey, I'll tell you this though too right now. All right, let Puff Daddy own the Chicago Bulls and let's see what he can do with it. All right, let's try that, huh? Try that. The point is this: my Bulls right now, man. Even though I knew that they were not going to be in the playoff mix, I wanted to see at least some improvement, knowing that the team is making the necessary steps to get into the right direction. And because of the garbage that Gar Forman and John Paxson had dished out to us Bulls fans, with Jerry Reinsdorf too, they've been giving us nothing but crap. And I'm getting sick and tired of it. I really am. All right. Listen, when it Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, three of the best cities when it comes to basketball. All right. Other than the Lakers and the Clippers at this point, you're telling me that you can't figure out a way to make it work and to make that team win again? It's just a really, really inexcusable part of what this Bulls history is. We've had some good moments after the championship years, but we just never been able to put it together. And it just always falls on its head. All right. Listen, Jerry Reinsdorf, please sell the team. Just please sell the team. Give it to an owner that could basically have the strong vision to really put this team in a position to probably be competitive again. A9 TV says, do you think D Rose is going to come back to Chi-Town? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that the Bulls mutually don't want to bring back a player from the past. I don't think D Rose will come back unless if they give him a very good deal to make him come back. But I think at this point, I don't think the Bulls will ever bring Derrick Rose back. Just as my opinion, at least. But yeah, that's just my frustration of how I feel about my Chicago Bulls a lot. Because we're supposed to be we should be better than what we were the last few seasons. But unfortunately, because of poor management, bad luck, and a lousy owner that doesn't give 2 cents about making his team win again, we're going to continue to have the same garbage for the next 10 to 20 years until either Ron Short's dead or if he decides to finally sell the team, get rid of Garth Forman, get rid of John Paxson, all right, and get some different people in the front office that can scout talent and then basically find a way to ride the ship and put this team in a better direction where they can compete once again and get back into the playoff mix. But I don't see that happening for a long while. That's just how I feel, and that's just how I think about it, guys. So, with that being said, that goes with another edition of basketball conversation, though, guys. It's been really, really fun chopping up with you guys. I want to give a major thanks to 89 TV, Andre, all right, Tusky Rolls, okay, Denise Wards, everybody that basically came in and chopping up basketball with me, though, guys. I really, really appreciate all the love and support I've been getting right here on this channel, though, too, guys. We're going to try to take more of an hour type of approach of these shows there, too, guys. Try to bring in some guests to try to get some basketball conversations, talks going, some debates, some barbershop talk, whatever you guys would like to hear, all right? Make sure to drop an opinion on the comment section, too. So what do you like to see? What kind of things would you want me to do to make the show better? You understand what I'm saying? Give me if you want to pursue a different idea or give different opinion, I will gladly, listen to it and put your opinion into heavy consideration to the two guys. It really means a lot because I really want to make the channel. I want to make this channel really work out very well for people who love basketball a lot, like I do. People who have different opinions or just have a different perspective on the game, though, too. But we're gonna make sure to keep things respectful, and it's gonna be a troll-free zone on this channel. Real talk, guys. But much love for everybody here that's basically been heading up with me on this great talk of basketball conversations. We're basically nearing towards the All-Star weekend next week, though, guys, and we're also 2 weeks away from Wilder versus Fury 2. Stay tuned for that, though, guys. Make sure to hit the like button on the way out. This has been Abil Mehari, represent MehariNation Sports Podcast for episode 17 of Basketball Conversations. Salute the entire LDBC and have a great night, guys.